This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning.
Yes, hi, good morning. Okay, before we start, let me introduce myself. Myself, Syed Kalim here. I have 14 years of IT experience. I started my career with the data center, storage, Linux, on-prem I worked, as well as last 5 years I'm working for one of the organization Azure Cloud as a lead for the team member of it. Okay, that's about myself. Okay, let's go with the demo. Before I start with the demo, okay, I have one PPT. I don't go with the PPT. Let's have a notepad. Okay, we'll go in this pattern like introduction, Azure admin, Azure DevOps, question and answers. Okay, in this way, conclusion. Okay, we'll go in this pattern. As we hear, we need to understand what is a Azure first, right? First, we'll understand what is a cloud. Later, we'll understand what is a Azure, and as well as Azure admin and Azure DevOps. Okay, first, as we know that in the market we are everyone are migrating their on premises to cloud. What is on premises? Before coming to the cloud, there is a on premises physical data centers. Okay, let me go with one PPT which I have it for. I don't go with overall PPT. In between, if I like that images, I will go with and I will go come back to the notepad. Okay, what is on premises? On premises is nothing but a physical data center where the physical machines, physical storage device, physical systems all will be connected and where we can touch. That is nothing but your disadvantage which we have in on premises. Like we have a we need to maintain the physical equipments, we need to maintain 24 by 7 electricity, 24 by 7 power supply, because if the server is, even though if the server is not using, the power supply as well as the cooling should be maintained, right? If you are maintaining a server, you need to renewal your server if that server is getting expired. Like you need to extend your support. Okay, that is what we had in on premises. If you are having a 100 square feet land, in that you have constructed a data center. In the data center you have built a servers, storage, backup, database, everything you have configured. If you are getting a request for creating a new server, you need to purchase a new server and you need to build in that physical data center. Assume like if this total data center is full, what you need to do, you need to purchase the same land somewhere around 100 kilometers or wherever, and you need to have a connectivity between these physical data centers. Okay, and as I told, there is a disadvantage. What are the disadvantage? We need to maintain, we need to overtake of all the hardware, we need to maintain the engineers for that server to maintain, we need to maintain data center engineers where he need to enter into the data center, he need to monitor all the servers are up and running, if the server is corrupted, what is the reason, all this headache we had. Okay, to overcome that, we have come up with the virtualization. Okay, before coming to the cloud, we had a on premises which we discussed right now. Okay, to overcome that, we have come up with the virtualization. What is virtualization? Instead of creating one server, we are purchasing one high configuration ESXi. Virtualization is the best example for virtualization is your VMware. Okay, instead of creating different servers in different places, you will purchase one higher configuration of ESXi. On top of that, you are going to create a VMs, right? That is what the overcome of on premises we had. Even though if you are maintaining your virtualization, that is also we required a physical location, like we required physical data center. If that whole virtualization got full, Then you need to purchase the same configuration if something goes wrong to the first virtualization box. Okay, that is what the over headache we had. To overcome that, we have come up with the cloud. What is a cloud? Cloud is nothing but where all the infrastructure what we discussed here in on premises, everything will be managed by vendor. If you take cloud as an example, Azure. Okay, Azure is managing by Microsoft. Okay, same way we have AWS. Okay, AWS is managing by Amazon. Same way we have Google Cloud, GCP we call it as, which is managing by Google. Same way we have Alibaba. Okay, like that we have VM Cloud, we have, okay, like that we have many clouds where they have its own responsibilities, and end of the day whatever what we
Oracle
are
Cloud,
discussing.
IBM Cloud.
Yes, correct. Oracle Cloud, IBM Cloud, and nowadays we are hearing Terraform Cloud also. These are the different types of cloud where there has own vendor supporting them. Okay, now we are here to discuss about Azure, which is managed by Microsoft. Compared with all the cloud, it is easy to understand as well as it is easy to go through the Microsoft, because till now when we studied everything we did from the Windows operating system. That's why those who are having background of zero knowledge also they can understand with Azure cloud. Okay, for AWS you require Linux background, like you need to have some understanding about the Linux commands, all these things you required. Even in Azure it's required, but only 10 to 20%, but rest everything will be 80% will be the on Microsoft cloud, like Windows. Okay, that is about the cloud. Now why everyone are migrating the cloud from on-prem to cloud? Okay, here as I told you, here everything is managing by Microsoft. Here whatever we discuss like managing your hardware, everything will be managed by Microsoft. Here even though if you are not using the server, you need to pay the rent for that server. Even you are not using the server for 1 day or 2 days, you need to pay the rent for a whole month. But here in the cloud especially, if you are not using, you can pay how much you used. Like it is kind of 1 day if you are going to use, for that 1 day you need to pay the rent. You don't need to invest in the hardware upfront. Everything will be managed by Microsoft. You can terminate the resources whenever you don't require it. Like for example, you have built one server or storage. After 1 hour or after 2 days, you don't want to use that virtual machine. You can terminate that virtual machine so that only for that 2 days only Microsoft will be charging you. Okay, like that you only pay for how much you use. It's like the credit card, how much we use for this month, you need to pay for the next month. Same case it applicable for the cloud. Like that we have more than 200 plus products are nothing but the services, like VMware virtualization, VM virtual machine I told, right? Same way we have storage, .NET, Java. Okay, all the services we call it as a product or resource. Okay, like that we have 200 plus products and services which is supporting by Microsoft. Okay, let me go to the, for accessing your portal, portal.azure.com. Okay, using this portal.azure.com we are going to use your Azure. Okay, this is your dashboard where you can find all the services. If I, this is your dashboard, and you can see in the left hand side there is a panel, and if you click on all services, it will show based on the category, like what are the services with respect to AI, machine learning, analytics, compute, containers, even Azure support containers, databases, DevOps tools, general. We'll discuss what is a DevOps. Okay, these are the different types of or categories which are available in that. As I told just now, 200 plus services are supporting by Microsoft. Like that, you can see based on the category, networking,
Total how
monitoring,
many categories, sir?
is it's around 14. They are expanding
14.
there. Yes, 14. They are expanding more
Okay.
on this. As of now, it is 14. Okay, like that. If
Okay.
you click on all, you can see all the services with respect to all the categories. Okay. Now, this Azure data center, where exactly it are available. Okay, there is one URL you can see. Okay, Azure Geographics. Okay, if you come down, this is your total data centers which are available in globally, Azure data centers. If you want to see with respect to the region wise, okay, like that, we have 60 plus regions where data centers are available. If I take India, okay, in India there are three data centers which are available. Out of three, the two data centers are already established, which is in Pune in 2015. Same way in Chennai also, it has established on 2015. In Hyderabad, they are already yet to plan, you can see coming soon. Like that, there are 60 plus countries. If you take China or Germany, okay, in Germany it has been started on 2019. Like that, recently they have built on Saudi Arabia. See here, it is also in Saudi Arabia, they have planned it in Dammam. Like that, there are 60 plus countries where the data centers are available with respect to the services wherever you want to create. Okay, if I go with Malaysia, in Malaysia it is also okay. Like that, they are planned in a different regions. That's about the cloud and Azure. Now, coming to the Azure admin, like what are the topics we are going to cover in our upcoming sessions? In Azure, we have AZ 900. Okay, this is fundamentals, and AZ 104. These are the two certifications. These are advanced. Okay, we are going to cover AZ 900 as well as AZ 104. Okay, these two things which we are going to cover. Now, before going to this, let me explain you about few things. Like, because of this cloud types as well as cloud computing, the cloud models, okay, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, as well as software as a service. Because of these three services only, the cloud has become very popular. What is this infrastructure as a service? Let me explain in the diagram. If you compare with this on premises, just now we discussed, this is a physical data center. Like for example, you got a request for creating a application. Take an example as a Flipkart. If you want to install or if you want to configure a Flipkart application in on premises, what are the things we required? We required one, hardware. Before going to hardware, we required a networking, we required a storage, server, virtualization. If you are going to virtualization, on top of that you are going to install the operating system. All these things which is colored in the blue color, right? Everything is managing by on-prem guy only. Like whatever the thing, if it is down, then we are the responsible of this on premises. Okay, if you take infrastructure as a service, IaaS, in infrastructure as a service, till virtualization, like till hardware, everything is managing by cloud. On top of that, what type of operating system, what is the application you want to install, all these things we are going to handle. Okay, that is about infrastructure as a service. The best example for infrastructure as a service is your virtual machine, your storage account, okay, which we are going to discuss in our upcoming days. Platform as a service, In platform as a service, what we are getting from vendor, till runtime we are going to get the services. On top of that, you are going to install the application and we are using it. Okay, the best example for PaaS service are nothing but your web servers. Okay, app services, like you are going to install the Flipkart. Here in this you are going to install the operating system. On top of that, you are going to install the application like Flipkart. But here everything, the hardware, everything is providing by Microsoft. On top of that, you are going to install the application, that is nothing but Flipkart. Software as a service is nothing but a package they are going to provide to us. Like the best example for software as a service is your GoToMeeting, which you logged in right now, Outlook, OneDrive. Okay, just we are getting a software, we are double clicking on that and we are using it. Okay, that is nothing but your software as a service. Because of these three things only, the cloud has become popular nowadays. Okay. Yes. Okay, as we are discussing, we are going to cover AZ900 as well as AZ104. Okay, that is about Azure admin part, and we'll share the content with you after this session. What are the content? Let me open it. Okay, this is the content, and today we are going to discuss about the cloud that covering now. Okay, and this is your topics which we are going to discuss. Okay, this will be shared in our WhatsApp group. You can go through, and this will be covering AZ900 as well as 104, virtual network, Linux administration, what is a backup, what is a storage account, what is a web app, how to monitor your resources, what is a log analytics, what is a key vault. We are going to discuss one database also. Okay, Active Directory, ARM template. We are also discussing about the PowerShell commands, how to create a resources using PowerShell. Okay, load balancer. After completion of the course, we are going to cover 4 days of Terraform as well as Docker. Okay, this is not advanced, the basic understanding about the Terraform, how to create a resource using Terraform, how to configure, all these things we are going to cover. Okay, as well as Docker. Okay, this is the things which we are going to discuss on Azure admin. Okay, that's about Azure admin part. Okay, now coming to the DevOps. Okay, as we know, in the market we are having many DevOps tools. Like in AWS, if you are going to AWS doesn't have its own DevOps tool. Okay, what is DevOps? First of all, let me open. Okay, DevOps is nothing but development as well as operation. If you are a part of DevOps, you need to have understanding about the coding as well as operations. Like operations are nothing but your infrastructure using Azure admin. Like what are the services which we are going to discuss, that will be coming under operations. Okay, and you may have some questions like, without going to admin, are we okay to learn Azure DevOps? Because in the market, everyone are asking about the DevOps, right? In Azure DevOps or only DevOps, there is a concept called CI/CD pipeline, right? What is the CA? Continuous integration, continuous deployment. In continuous integration, what are the things like, for example, if you are going to create a virtual machine in Azure admin, okay, you need to go to the portal and you need to select the service, what service you want to create. But in Azure DevOps, if you are going to create same service, you can't able to see what exactly the backend it's happening. That's why it is recommended that before going to DevOps, just understand about the admin, what, how the process and how the service is getting created, and what are the things we require to create a resource or service in using Azure admin. After that, if you are going to create a resource using CI/CD pipeline, you no need to understand how the process is going on, right? You already know about how the things is happening through Azure Admin. That's why if you are really interested to go with DevOps, you need to understand about the admin first. Okay, it's up to us, like if you want to go to admin, because in interview, if you are uh, going to attend on Azure DevOps interview, first they will ask basic questions on any of the cloud. If you are going on AWS DevOps, then they will ask AWS admin questions first. Okay, after that only they will go to the DevOps questions. Okay, CA and CD is a single line of, like we are getting a task, on top of that task we are going to create a continuous integration. Once the artifact is generated, we are going to build on multiple environments. Okay, we'll discuss this one later. Okay, as was discussing here, you need to have an understanding about CI and CD. And as a Azure DevOps guy, he need to understand what exactly the process is happening. Like in this, for example, if I take an example as a Ola app or Tata Punch. Okay, as we are hearing that Tata Punch EV has released, right? As we know, if new product is getting released in the market, before that what the organization will does, like for example if you take this one, obviously if you take Tata Punch, obviously that will be managed by TCS company, right? If you want to build a application called Tata Punch EV, what are the who are the teams will be involved? Like you will be having application team, server team, tester, and developer, architect, database guy. Okay, like that many guys will be there, monitoring guy. For creating one application, end of the day this is your product, right? Tata Punch is a product. Backend, if that product is getting released, if that Tata Punch app is going to launch, okay, these are the whole teams are responsible of that Tata Punch EV app. Okay, if any one of these guys are not available, this cannot be built or this cannot be created. Okay, what are the things, like if you want to create a login page to see what is the price of your Tata Punch EV, or if you want to see the brochure, what is the price of your Tata Punch, all these things, the software whichever we are able to see by end users. Okay, back end this many guys are involved, but as a normal guy they can't understand this much effort. For example, after 10 days Tata Punch is going to launch one new vehicle, like new color, assume it. Before launching on that specific date, these testers, application guys, server team, everyone will work and they will be displaying that so and so punch car on all the web pages. On the day of releasing that car, you will be having different environments. In CI/CD, in Azure DevOps, you have a concept called environments. Okay, environments like dev, stage, non-prod, prod. Okay, prod is nothing but on the day of releasing that specific color, that whole for a brochure as well as the product as well as application will be launched on the day of whichever the day has mentioned. Before coming to this production, the same application will be tested on lower environments like dev. The same code, whatever the code these guys are working, that code will be tested on dev, stage, non-prod, on the day of release it will be published in the production page. Okay, these things will be happening in the DevOps. Okay, there is a concept called agile scrum master. Okay, these things we will be discussing in our upcoming days, like in Azure DevOps. What is agile process, what is scrum master? Like if you want to create like application, and you may aware of waterfall model. What is this? Like for example, if application code is creating one code, until unless the code is not created, he cannot test it on the server. He can't able to test it, he can't able to develop, he can't able to do all these things one after another. That is not the correct way, right? If he is doing in such a way, the single line of code if he want to test, he need to wait for 6 months or 1 year, because he need to write that 100 lines of code, and after that only he can test it. That is not the correct way. If it is in that way, for every product it will take years of time to get into the market. Okay, that's why we have a agile process, where every time like single line of code if you want to test, we can test and we can get the bug fix. Okay, that will be discussed in the Azure DevOps in our upcoming sessions. Like we are going to discuss what is the environment, what we are going to test some application, like take like Ola app only. Ola or this one same which we discussed Tata Punch, right? Same thing. We are going to test one in different environments. Okay. To access this Azure DevOps, there is a URL called dev.azure.com. Okay. If you want to access portal, Azure portal, portal.azure.com. If you want to access your DevOps, dev.azure.com. 1 minute. Okay, dev.azure.com, or from the Azure portal itself we can search DevOps, because it is integrated with your Azure portal, right? There is a Azure DevOps organization. Click on this and it will redirect to the same page, my Azure or DevOps organization. Click on this, or you can directly search with dev.azure.com. It will open your DevOps tool. Okay, this is your Azure DevOps, and here you can see there is a project. Okay, take this project as a Tata Punch. Okay, inside this you will be having many things like summary, dashboard, wiki, boards, repos, everything. Okay, we'll discuss in detail about this one later. This one is summary about your product, what kind of product you are going to build in short. Hmm? Coming to the boards, like in boards you will be getting some task like creating a resource, blah blah things, like you need to create a web page. Here every team will be involved, as we discussed here. Here application team, server team, tester, developer, everyone will be involved here. For everyone there will be some task assigned to them. They need to work and they need to close it. Okay, like that there will be. This is nothing but in many organizations we have service now. Okay, that is a ticketing tool, that is a ITL process. Same way here in Azure DevOps we have a board concept. There is a sprint concept where you need to complete this task within a 15 days. Okay, every task or everything is nothing but one sprint. Okay, it should be complete within a given period of time. Okay, and there is a repos. Okay, the repos is nothing but, as we discussed here, for every line of code, if this guy application want to test, that will be tested with the help of repo. Repo is nothing but your centralized location where you can test your code and you can push your code in a Azure DevOps. Okay, we have different tools available like GitLab, GitHub, Bitbucket. Okay, these are the different types of tools which are available for AWS. But in Azure we have a repos concept. It is purely related to GitLab, okay, which is used by Azure. Okay, if you want to learn AWS, you need to learn many tools, but here Azure has its own repo called GitLab. Through here only we can push, we can pull, we can clone, all these things we can do. Okay, and there is one more concept called branching policies as well as branching branch strategies. Okay, this one also we'll discuss. Like, as we discussed here, environments, different environments, we call it as a branching strategies. Before going to the production, we need to test in the dev, the same code will be tested in the stage, and the same thing will be tested in the non-prod. On the day of production, it will be populated in the production. Okay, CA is nothing but continuous integration. Like, if you want, usually if you want to run some code, you need to log into the server, and you need to double click on that software, and you need to install. That is a manual process. Instead of that, you want to do the automation, that will be done with the CA, continuous integration. You no need to involve directly, you can schedule so and so time it should be auto apply or auto install. That will be done with the help of continuous integration. Okay, if you want to do that, like we have a, yeah, this branching strategy we'll discuss later. Okay, there is a concept called pipeline. Okay, using this new pipeline you are going to create continuous integration, and with the help of release we are going to deploy in multiple environments. Okay, this release is nothing but your CD, and this pipeline is nothing but your continuous integration. Okay, we also will discuss what is a library, deployment groups, what is a test plan. Artifacts are nothing but your software. Like, if you are running any software, that will be stored in the artifact. This will be a .zip file. Okay, test plans, artifacts, and what are the project settings. With respect to the project settings, what are the permissions, if you want to give any permission, and you want to interact with your Azure portal with Azure DevOps. Like, as we discussed, Azure admin is nothing but manual thing which we need to understand. Like, if you want to create a VM, we are going to select a virtual machine here, and we are going to select as a create, and we are going to create manual creation of the virtual machine. The same thing can be done with the help of Azure DevOps, like automation. Instead of going to the portal and creating, the same thing can be automated with the help of DevOps. Okay, that will be seen in our upcoming sessions. Okay, yeah, that's all I want to discuss. Like, I, I don't want to go in detail about the technical things because you guys are new, and if I explore more on technical things, you may have some confusion. That's why I want to give a little bit understanding about the Azure admin and Azure DevOps. And here, the Azure DevOps, the certification is AZ 400. Okay, these are the three levels of certifications which we are going to provide here. Okay, that's all from my end. Anybody have any questions before we conclude? Any questions, like with respect to not only the specific technical, like if you have any questions on your career path, or if you have doubt on any technical things, you can ask. No questions?
Sorry, sir. I
All
have a
good?
few questions.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I have a few questions, sir.
Yes, yes. Tell me.
My name is Pandya, sir. I'm
Okay.
from Guntur district. Currently, I'm
Okay.
working as an Amazon non-IT in non-IT sector as a transaction risk
Okay.
investigator.
Okay.
Uh, my contract, as I hired as a contract in a contract mode. My contract is going to
Okay.
end on next Tuesday. And
Okay.
recently, I mean, 1 year back, I think I have attended an like Azure training, Azure Cloud. He's a cloud architect.
Okay.
I attended training for about 1 week, I think, 1 week or 2 weeks only,
Okay.
just about to like cloud architect only, like about to be,
Mm-hmm.
L1 or L2 level,
Okay.
cloud admin. I want to
Okay.
become a cloud admin, sir, like Windows admin or Linux more than Azure admin like that. Not in
Okay.
DevOps. I'm not
Okay.
having.
Okay.
I'm not interested in DevOps because I
Mm-hmm.
am a BCom graduate.
Mm-hmm. No, there
I
is
am not having
no
enough
specific
experience in.
like how long you are
Yeah,
working there in Amazon?
it is in a contract mode, sir. It is a 6 months contract. It is going to end on next Tuesday only.
Okay. No, how long you are working there? How much
Six
experience you
months,
have?
sir. Six
Okay,
months.
only 6 months. Okay. Okay.
Before that,
Okay.
I have experience in US healthcare, sir.
Okay. That is also non-IT.
Yeah, it entirely non-IT. Speaking with
Okay.
US healthcare representatives like that.
Okay. Mm. Okay, that is not a problem because here we have many candidates who has come from Amazon, Wipro, who are
Yeah,
working on
yeah,
YouTube process. Okay, they have switched their career from non-IT to IT.
yeah.
That is not a problem. Okay,
And
and coming to
I,
your point, like if you are specifically looking on admin part, okay,
yeah,
that one like earlier, like 1 year, 2 years back, there was an opportunity. Like if you are going on specific on Azure admin, then you are getting more calls. Now the market is
yeah.
totally changed. If you are going on
Okay,
admin, then at least you need to learn AWS as well as Azure.
okay,
Okay, or you need to learn Azure admin plus Azure DevOps. Azure DevOps
okay,
not 100%, 10 to 20%. If you are learning Azure DevOps, that is more than enough.
okay,
Okay, you what I suggest is understand about Azure admin 100%. You go with the lab and all these things you learn. After that,
yeah,
10 to 20% what is what on Azure DevOps, you just go through that. Then you will
okay,
crack. You can crack the interview and you can get the job.
okay,
Okay.
okay, sir. And how long will be tried? The training is how long, sir?
Yes, for Azure admin it is 1.5 month, and DevOps it
Okay,
is a 1 month. Total 2.5 months we are going to complete.
okay. So in this Azure admin, I'm going to learn on how to create virtual machines, virtual networks, and
Yes.
scalability, increasing the
Yes.
scalability if we and the real-time scenarios also, right, sir?
Yes. We are going to
On
discuss that one.
premises, how we are going to facing any issues, how we are solving
Mm-hmm.
any issues on when we
Yes,
someone
yes.
raises the tickets.
That one after completion of Azure admin, we will be having 2 to 3 hours of one session that will be offline. There we are going to discuss
Okay,
about what are the day-to-day activities, what are the roles and responsibilities. All these things will be covered there.
okay.
Yes.
And besides this, you said also Linux administration also, right?
Okay.
Is
Yes,
that
you are
also going
interested to learn
to
Linux
include, sir?
admin as well.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. We are having that 2 days of session on Linux administration, 1 or 2
Why?
days.
Because is I want to go in administration department, like not in
Yes,
I
yes.
mean that's
Sure,
why I
sure.
have
I
asked.
understand. I understand.
Yeah. And after completion of training, sir, did you got any placement assistance? And because you said you are working as a lead in some which
Yes,
company,
yes.
sir?
We are like if you, I am working for Infosys.
Okay.
If you are if you are having opportunities like as you know in the market, if we are genuine in the candidate, then we can refer it.
Yeah.
Okay. That way, if there is a possibility, then we can refer it.
Okay.
Yes.
As a fresher, sir, or as an experienced?
No, as an experience only, because for Azure admin, minimum 3 years is a fresher. They will consider in an IT. If you are
Okay.
getting a job as a 3 years, that is a fresher as a L1 engineer. You will be getting a role.
Yeah, okay, sir. I have 6 months of experience in Amazon. Before that, I have 2 years of experience in US something other than, but I'm not having
Hmm.
a PF enrollment there.
Okay, then in that case, you can keep this 2.5 years experience into Azure admin, and you can get a job. That will help you on
Okay, sir.
that.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Any references or any references about that? Because I'm really interested to join in this.
Sure, we'll discuss that one.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, anybody else have any questions?
And one more question, sir.
Yes.
While in training, we want Microsoft account, right?
Yes, yes, we
Will
required
you give
one credit card.
yeah? Okay.
No, we
Will you
required
give
one
access
credit
or
card for.
okay?
Sorry, you need to have
Will you
that
give
credit
access
card.
or okay, okay,
No,
from
no,
my side, okay,
you need to have a credit card, and credit card. Why I am telling, because Microsoft will be charging ₹2 from that credit card, and he
yeah, yeah,
will be
I know.
paying $200. Yes,
Okay, okay.
yes.
Somehow I know how to create virtual machines as a basic
Okay,
level, but I after that
okay,
I didn't went through that.
okay.
Yeah, sir.
Sure, sure.
Did you got placed any recent candidates? Sir? Recently, any did you got placed in by any candidates?
In my organization, you're talking about
Yeah, yes, sir.
from our institute.
Fro- Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, from last 2 to 3 months, the market is totally down.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
after March, we are expecting the market will be up, because it is a freeze period, right? Every organization
Yeah.
is having hikes, and they are
Yes.
not recruiting candidates from outside. Okay, from last
Yes.
three
Yes.
to four months, there is no market, and we are expecting
Yeah.
from April to May for last 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Fine. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Thanks. Okay, then, if no questions, we can wind up here. Thank you. Thanks for joining Wednesday.